I'm a dude, a middle-aged dude here living in Taiwan, and I don't have the right to vote for the U.S. presidential election. But I found myself to be obsessed. For example, today would be the debate day between Vice President Harris and former President Donald Trump. I don't have the right to vote in the United States, and it really, really doesn't concern me. And usually I am apathetic to politics. I don't really care about politics. Unless there's a major event like a presidential election here in Taiwan, and I would just find out what are their policies and what they're trying to push forward, what they're trying to achieve in the future, where they're leading the where they're leading the country to, right? So that's the only time I'm paying attention to politics. But recently, I find myself really obsessed with the U.S. presidential debates. I would just log on to x.com and see what they're saying and how's the polls look like, how the odds like from the gambling market and so on. I was thinking why am I like this? Do I really care, and do I have to care, right? Maybe it's one of the reasons is that I am heavily invested in the U.S. stock market. Half of my equities in foreign states, and I'm thinking whether this country is shifting from one direction or to another direction, and how is that gonna generate the impacts to my equity? Am I still be able to grow my equity in my investment with the new administration, right? I think I know some people say that you see, in politics you cannot be right. I mean, because no matter which side you stand for, there's an opposite side of people who would have sometimes completely contradictory or even the opposite viewpoint that you have. So some people say that you don't need to worry about who gets elected, because the United States it's a huge country. It will continue to grow and sustain its stance in the world, and as a leader in economy and as a leader of military power and so on. But some people would insist that only candidate A or B gets elected, the economy will continue to thrive and so on. Otherwise, it would be a completely nightmare. But I don't know. It seems like right now, given the empowerment of social media and the conventional media as well, I think people are becoming too extreme and too drastic on both sides of the ends. So there would be either A or B. There's no something in between. There is no blur or gray area where the opinions or the policies or somewhere, because they're trying to go to the extreme to appeal to the both sides of the voters. And sometimes when you have this megaphone of social media, and all the essence, all the delicacies, all the details sometimes could be lost in the broadcasting, and it truly becomes like a marketing campaign. So coming back to what I'm saying is that why do I really care? I think one thing is that I'm not sure, but I think probably it will change how the economy goes. And as a foreign investor, that's really I wanted to see my equity continue to grow. So, and also I wanted to I hope that America, the United States, is continue to grow and to be a leading power of in the global economy. And so that's one thing. And another thing is there are many tech company owners or some of the business persons or the big tech companies, they are engaged in the presidential debate, whether it could be censoring or it could be filtering the information, or it could be endorsing or sponsoring some of the candidates. And that's about freedom of speech. That's about the government's power, about controlling people's freedom of expressions. And these topics are, even though I think they're tightly related to politics, but these are the topics I care about. I am a supporter for freedom of speech. I'm a supporter for your right to say your own, and also I am a supporter of continuous growth, less regulations, and more economy, health, and entrepreneurship, and that's basically the values I stand for. And also, I mean, U.S. is the leading country in the world. So how U.S. handle these type of issues will have an influence on other countries. It was like trickling effect to Europe or to countries in Asia and even Latin America. So that's why I'm kind of I would say I'm interested, and I sometimes a little bit obsessed, but at the same time I want to pull myself out from all this addiction and obsession to looking into, hey, what is the latest things that these people are saying, and how's the latest poll look like, and how the gambling market are standing for behind any type of. But anyway, it becomes like a relentless addiction to dopamine. I have to confess, I have to be honest. I know this is kind of like, the importance of this, but what can you do, right? I have zero control over the thing. Even if I were a U.S. resident, I only have one vote. I'm just a small piece of the system, and what's the influence I have, right? And even I don't have the right to vote for them, and why do I care, right? But as I mentioned, it is the values that I stand behind. It is the economic growth that I would like to sustain, and it is the like modeling. It is like the leading opinions and the leading working model of a modern country, and in various topics. That I think that's why I think countries, many people are also paying attention, and they are concerned, and also they are wanted to know how United States will turn out to be, and how the so-called democracy would really have a explanatory effects, and for all other democracy countries to learn from. So I think that is the significance of this election. And on the personal level, I'm just a nobody, but also I would like to see how, because you're standing at the tipping point of history, you're standing at the very forefront of how the human society, the human world, as in a global scheme that would unfold, because U.S. is really, it has this significance and importance in how the politics play out, and how the geopolitics as well, and even economy is all tightly linked. Especially Taiwan, we have very strong business relationship, trading relationship, and partnership with the U.S. companies. For my company, the company I work for as well, we serve one of the greatest brands in athletic footwear, and it really could play out to be very influential and significant to people or companies or entities outside of U.S. So maybe that's why I am obsessed over it from a personal level. And from another point is also from the personal level. I think it's quite entertaining. I'm sorry to say that, but the way some of the candidates, the way all the dramas and changing the candidate like within like 3 months of the election, or all the entertaining. I mean, the way they market and sell their message, the way they persuade you to join them, the way all the powers are playing together and the fighting and all the conflicts. I'm sorry to admit, it's exciting to watch. I know politics is a very serious thing, but it is just fun to watch. And at the same time, you see some of the best minds in the world commenting and supporting, endorsing, or against some of the political candidates. And they stand for their vision, they stand for their faith, they stand behind the value they believe. It is really exciting to see some of the most smart minds and how they look at the future of this country should be, and how they would change if they could be in power or empowered to push forward. So I mean, this just a fun. Sorry to say, but it's a fun show, and it is also has the significance to decide how not just the United States move forward, but how the world would move forward, and how a small potato country like here in Taiwan, and it also regards our future too. So I don't know, just find it very interesting and still obsessed.